You can fail in style and come out stronger than you ever were. But no one tells you that, because you were taught to associate mistakes with humiliation, failure with weakness, and quitting with shame. But what if it's the exact opposite? What if failure is the secret doorway that separates those living on autopilot from those brave enough to reinvent themselves? This conversation isn't for people who want to keep pretending everything's fine while life slips through their fingers. It's for the ones who are tired of chasing a perfection that never arrives and are just starting to understand that mistakes are part of the journey, not the end of it. What you'll find here isn't some magical formula. It's a new lens. Real, human, provocative, a way to turn pain into fuel, falling down into a foundation, fear into momentum. Now, before we go any further, answer this honestly. How many opportunities have you already lost trying to look flawless? The word failure is scary. It's tied to shame, to loss, to the idea that something went so wrong it can't be saved. But those who've truly grown know the truth. Failure is just the dirty uniform of someone who stepped onto the field. It's the natural mark left behind by someone who tried, fell, learned, and, most importantly, refused to stay down. There's nothing more dangerous than someone who's faced the pain of falling and still chooses to move forward. Because that person understands, mistakes don't diminish you. They make you stronger. The fear of failure is often the most convincing disguise for stagnation. Sometimes paralysis comes wrapped in pretty excuses. I'm waiting for the right moment. I'm not ready yet. Once everything's in place, I'll start. But none of that is about perfection. It's about fear. And while that fear is calling the shots, personal growth gets stuck on pause. The world is full of unseen talents who chose the safety of invisibility. In practice, failure is raw feedback from life. It's not the end of anything. It's the beginning of a new attempt, this time with more clarity. That's how the boldest projects were born. That's how breakthroughs happened. That's how relationships worked out after trial and error. Every mistake points to a path that doesn't work, and that too is learning. The only thing failure refuses to forgive is the arrogance of those who won't listen to what it came to teach. Avoiding the attempt out of fear of failing is like refusing to learn because you're afraid of looking like a beginner. But every master was once a rookie. Every confident soul was once insecure. And every success carries, behind the scenes, a collection of failed attempts. Failure isn't about falling. It's about taking a step with no guarantee of success, armed with the courage of someone who'd rather stumble forward than stay frozen in perfect stillness. The worst kind of defeat? It's the mind that refuses to move. Those who only value success are trapped in the illusion that outcomes matter more than the process. But real upgrades happen in imperfect practice, in flawed repetition, in mistakes that become lessons. Remember that time you messed up so badly you thought was the end? Yeah, maybe that was just a first step. Starting a new career, recording your first video, putting yourself out there, trying to meditate, all of that is an attempt. All of it is raw, unfiltered learning. Truth is, nobody learns while walking on solid ground. What really teaches you is slipping, starting over, and finding your own rhythm. It's in that messy loop of trying, adjusting, and moving forward that true growth happens, even if you can't always see it while you're in it. Sometimes, evolution only reveals itself after the disappointment, when you look back and realize that fall was actually a disguised leap. And that's when the turning point begins. Chasing perfection before taking action is the classiest way to postpone your own evolution. Meanwhile, it's consistent effort, even if messy, even if slow, that lays down the real foundation. A healthy body isn't born from the perfect gym routine, but from uncomfortable repetition. An impactful text doesn't come from the first brilliant sentence. It comes from writing, deleting, revising. Transformation is born from effort, not from flawless aesthetics. The idea that something is only worth sharing when it's 100% ready is a trap. In real life, growth doesn't come to those who wait to get everything right. It comes to those who show up even knowing they might get it wrong. That person who dares to start with a simple project, who record with an old phone, who launches their first imperfect product. that's the one on the right path. Because they understand that movement transforms more than expectations. Perfection paralyzes. Effort moves. And when you start valuing what you do every single day instead of obsessing over some ideal one-day achievement, you flip the script of your life. Better 10 messy attempts than one perfect idea that never left the page. And here's the twist. The ones who focus on steady effort, without being obsessed with the result, usually end up going farther than the ones still waiting for the perfect moment. The comfort zone isn't really comfortable. It's just predictable. It's that place where nothing hurts too much, but nothing moves you either. The problem? Spend too long there, and you start to atrophy your dreams. Standing still feels safe, but in reality, it's like living in a loop where every day is just a soulless repeat. Fear of the unknown seems like it's protecting you, but it's actually what's keeping you trapped in a cycle of disguised stagnation. The courage to begin, even without knowing what comes next, is what breaks that cycle. Sometimes, the only thing separating an ordinary life from an extraordinary one is the decision to try something new. Moving to a new city, saying the truth you've been swallowing, asking for help, saying yes to an unexpected opportunity. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be different from what you've always done. A simple, "I've had enough," might be the beginning of your transformation. The comfort zone comes with a high price. It may shield you from failure, but it also robs you of personal growth. Those who settle stop being the authors of their own story and become well-behaved spectators. And over time, that fake stability starts weighing more than any fear. Because deep down, no one was born to live a lukewarm life. And there's a voice inside you that knows it. There comes a point where you just can't postpone it any longer. Either you keep hiding behind the fear of failure, or you start building the courage to try, even if your hands are shaking. Because now you know, failure isn't a sentence, it's a signal. It's the universe saying, "Not this way," to push you toward the right direction. But for that to work, you need to move. You need to act. You need to step out of the illusion of perfection and fall into the realness of daily effort. So tell me, what are you going to do with everything you've heard here? Will you file it away as just another nice reflection? Or will you apply it? Will you leave it for tomorrow? Or is there already a decision pounding in your chest right now? What comfort zone needs to be broken today? What attempt deserves to be made? Even if it fails at first, drop your answer in the comments, because that might be your very first step toward real transformation. And if this content sparks something inside you, do this. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and dive deeper into personal growth, resilience, and real courage. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform together.